36 hours on a bus. Outside, the temperature dropped to minus 36. We began preparing our supplies before setting off toward the world of the nomads. We stopped by a small countryside town to pick up the daughters of the family. There were no video games, no signs of the modern rush. Yet in that simple rhythm of life, there was something real. A kind of happiness that felt effortless, almost untouched by time. The village at the edge of nowhere. In this land of endless snow and distance. Their house was simple, made of clay and wood, smoke curling from the chimney. Here, where we met two elders living in quiet isolation. They welcomed us, and we started calling them Papa and Mama, just a way of saying they had become family. And meeting them felt like the warmest thing in the coldest land. Living there, herding sheep across the wilderness snow valley, following them and watching the sheep slowly disappear into the endless snowfields. The sheep are released freely into the valley, moving on their own, spreading out across the snow like they belong to it. The little boy, the grandson of the Kazakh family, also joins in the herding with his family in his own innocent way. Here, childhood is shaped by the land, so young, yet already responsible. When it's time, they return by themselves. No force, no control. Just instinct and trust built over time. Early in the morning, while the world was still dark, we left the warmth of our beds and climbed into a truck. The cold was unforgiving, our hands slowly losing feeling as the wind cut through us. Heading deep into the mountains toward a frozen lake before sunrise, there was no one else around. Just us and the distant sounds of wolves, goats, and other unseen wildlife echoing from behind the mountains. It felt quiet, but alive, mysterious in a way that makes you pause. As the sun began to rise, the valley turned gold. Slowly, the frozen lake revealed itself. We ran towards it like kids. slipping and falling on the unexpected ice, laughing into the cold air. We carved a hole into the frozen surface and started fishing, hoping to catch something different for dinner. Something beyond the usual goat or beef we'd been having every day. That day, we didn't know at first, but it was actually Papa's birthday. As the sun slowly faded, villagers from nearby homes began to arrive. No invitations, no plans, just people showing up, bringing warmth with them. Laughter started to fill the space. A beef dish was prepared for the celebration. We were welcome to join. We sat among them, not as outsiders, but like we belonged there too. We didn't understand the words, but we felt everything. In that moment, language didn't matter. Where we came from didn't matter. What mattered was the feeling, raw, pure, and shared. Being there to witness something so simple, so real, felt like the greatest kind of luck. We ride the horses across this endless snow valley, and it really feels like there's no end to it, just white, stretching in every direction, mountains in the distance, and the quiet rhythm of hooves moving forward. Time feels slower out here. We travel like this from one village to another, the same way Kazakh people have done for generations, living with the land, not against it. Just moving with the rhythm of nature. When we reach a village, we're welcomed into a relative's home. We sit together around hot tea, slowly letting the cold fade from our bodies. Outside, children are running and laughing in the snow like winter is nothing to them. After a while, we continue our journey, riding deeper into the mountains. Higher and higher, where the world slowly falls silent. When we finally reach the peak, the view just opens up in front of us. Papa stands tall with his eagle high upon the peak. The eagle isn't something separate from them. It grows with them, lives with them, understands them. They don't need many words, just a call. And right away, the eagle responds. It takes off from the peak, flying down into the open valley. And when it returns, landing back onto the arm, like this whole sky, these mountains, and the eagle are all part of the same language. Watching it from up there, you start to realize this is just normal life for them. Not a performance, not something special for visitors, just something that has always been there. A quiet understanding between people, land, and eagle, passed on, lived every day here in the Kazakh mountains. Like you've stepped into something much bigger than yourself, and everything else just fades into the distance. One night, we make dumplings together. Mama and her daughter teach us the way. Flour on hands, faces messy, dough everywhere. A quiet joy you can feel in your chest. Sharing this moment, I feel how simple happiness could be through people like them. That night, the sky was overflowing with stars. A few words come in quietly. You are very kind. Please forgive us if we seem strange. I don't understand every word, but I understand what they mean. It's in their eyes and the way they've taken care of us so naturally, without expecting anything in return. And in that quiet moment, it just lands heavily in the chest. Just a feeling that slowly takes over until your eyes can't hold it anymore. And in that instant, I understand clearly. These people, living simply, humbly, passing down what is real and human, are the ones who keep the world alive. I love them. I love how they live. I love what they've given us, just by being themselves. We missed them so much the moment we left, watching them wave at us as we slowly drove away. We continued deeper through the mountain valleys of Mongolia. We're in between rolling hills and vast open terrain, following rough tracks that cut through a land without clear edges or endings. Where the roads seem to disappear and reappear with the land itself. And halfway through the journey, I was suddenly asked to squeeze into one of the nomad family's old jeeps, bouncing through the rough roads ahead together with them. The jeep was really old, but it just kept going, strongly moving forward as we headed towards the family's home. We finally arrived after the long, bumpy off-road journey. Welcomed warmly into their home. Someone began singing softly while we settled into the house. And I couldn't stop noticing the family's young son. Even though he was only 7, he moved around like one of the adults, quietly helping with everything around the house, even he is just 7 years old. We gathered around the living area, listening as the elders began to sing. Their voices filling the space with warmth, stories, and a feeling that's hard to describe. Until the final note faded into the night and we fell quietly into sleep. That morning, before anyone woke up, I was standing outside in the snow and silence. Then a dog slowly came up to me, playful and gentle, staying by my side as if it had known me for a long time. In that freezing quiet, its warmth and companionship made the whole moment feel strangely comforting. The neighboring nomad family noticed me. The grandma, the husband, the wife, and their baby invited me in. I even took a family photo for them, creating a lasting memory of our time together. Here's where I met Bereke, the kid I miss the most from this journey. Bereke grows up in a pure nomad life, surrounded by animals and mountains. One day, he invited me to his playground, but his playground wasn't a swing or a park like in the city. It was a stone sheepfold. Goats were everywhere, moving around us, and he brought me deeper and deeper into the corral, showing me the places where the sheep stay. As I walked inside, it honestly felt like stepping into another world. It started snowing, and soft light came through the small openings above us, moving slowly across the walls. Everything felt quiet and warm inside. Bereke was there, playing with the sheep, moving between them so naturally. Like he belonged there. The goats weren't scared at all. They trusted him completely. It felt so touching. In the city, kids play on the screen. Here, Bereke rides a sheep and calls it play. That contrast stayed with me. It also made me realize how simple life can be here and how independent it is. The usually good kid suddenly turned mischievous, scooping up snow and throwing it at us. Wasn't this exactly what showed their pure, unfiltered way of being? Soon, other kids joined in, and we were all running, slipping, and throwing snow in every direction. Surrounded by endless white. The mountains around us were wide and silent, yet alive with our joy. Bereke's bravery even amazed me. He even herds sheep by himself, far away in the snowy wild. The day I walked with him and asked how far he usually goes with the sheep. He didn't explain much. He just pointed far into the distance beyond the mountains and said he walks there. That moment really shocked me. A 7-year-old kid walking that far on his own. It completely changed my perspective. I really love this kid. But even so, we still had to farewell. Before I left, I gave Bereke my video game. His mother shook my hand, surprised and thankful. Saying goodbye to Bereke was hard, until we meet again. One day, I'll be older, and you'll be older too. With one last glance at the village, we rolled back onto the snowy tracks. And continued deeper into the Altai Mountains. Winter slowly took control of the landscape. The snow grew thicker, and night seemed to fall earlier each day. It felt like we were leaving one world behind and stepping into another rhythm of life. Yet even in this vast wilderness, life was everywhere. Along the way, we passed families tending their herds, shepherds guiding sheep across the frozen plains. With every hour, the world around us felt quieter and more isolated. Nothing but snow, cold wind, and the faint headlights leading us deeper into the frozen mountains. Far away from everything else. By the time we reached the village, Blue Hour had already settled in. Perched high on the mountainside, overlooking the valleys below. Standing there, we understood how far we had come. Some of the kids quietly peeked their heads out from the windows, curiously watching us arrive from the darkness. Isolated high in the mountains, silent, frozen, yet still filled with life and warmth behind those tiny windows. That night, we found ourselves surrounded by so many curious faces. Inside, the house was alive. Laughter filled the rooms as their voices blended together. In this family, the children learned responsibility naturally. They helped care for the goats, assisted with daily work. It was simply part of growing up here. When we first arrived, we felt a little out of place. Quiet, careful, sitting to the side like strangers. But children don't see barriers the way adults do. Before long, the distance disappeared, and we found ourselves laughing along with them. The sun rose slowly behind the mountains, light spilling across the snow and turning everything soft and warm. The goats gathered close against the cold. Before we left, we took a group photo together. Behind us, the Altai Mountains stood tall, covered in snow, watching over generations who had lived, hunted, laughed, and grown beneath them. As the road carried us farther, the sky was beginning to change again. Soft orange light slowly blends in. We stopped by a small bridge crossing over a frozen river below. The sunset hit at exactly the right timing, and everything turned orange and gold for a few short minutes. The whole river had turned into ice, thick layers of frozen patterns trapped beneath the surface like time had stopped there long ago. We climbed down and walked across the frozen river. Every step made little cracking sounds beneath our boots, The cold wind hit hard, our faces completely numb already. But the view made us forget all of it. The last sunlight reflected across the ice. It felt like the whole world was quietly ending for the day, right in front of us. Before the sky fully disappeared into night, we arrived at another Kazakh family's home. His family had 2 sons, a mother, and a strong, quiet father, who spent most of his life in these mountains. Around their home were camels, goats, and sheep roaming across the snowfields. We followed the villages out toward the camel herd. The cold air was brutal again. Camels slowly approached her as she prepared for milking. They were surprisingly calm, almost gentle in the way they moved. After milking, the camels were released one by one into the open valley. Later that day, the father brought his eagle and led us higher into the mountains on horseback. We followed behind him through rocky trails until we reached a quiet area overlooking the valley below. Holding the eagle calmly on his arm, while the wind moved across the mountain. Then slowly, through translations and gestures, he began sharing stories of his life as an eagle hunter, a life passed down from father to son for generations across these mountains. Shaped by hunting, raising eagles, harsh winters, and the deep bond between hunter and bird.
Abi менен Баянөлгөдүн алты жакташуунун Сайлаулуу Бауыржан деген балам. Салганымын 15 жыл болду. Мына устаган 3-чү курсум. Үчтөн 4 жыл устап кое берип атат табига. Осунун алдында бурун 2 курс устаган, мына 3-чү курс болот. 2 курс кое берген. Бирөөгүн кое берип, бирөөгүн сол екісіге берген. Мына бейли үйреткен düz құспен. Тас түлек құс, ағиға атып.
Анда неше жаста бар?
Мына 3 жаста. 3 жаста құс дейді. Былтыр түскен дүзінде солған құс сол. Bir kişiden aldım değil. Bundan şekil tutarız biz de енді сол шақыршыға үйретіп кішкене сөйтіп жатыр. Кісілерден қорғалап кішкене шақыруға шықпай бұрын шақыруға шықпаған түз құс. Сөйтіп жатқан жағдай бар.
Қандай айтыпсыз?
Ұстаған енді мына қақпамен ұстайды, тұзақпен ұстайды жаңағы. Қоян жел тұстап тауға жанына бүркітпей лақпайды. Соған келіп түз құс түсіп сол ұсталады. Түз құс ұстаған деді жаңа. Түз құстың ең қасиет жақсылығы аңға шебер болады. Қандай тастың арадан аң алып ұстап қояды. Берген болады. Тауда жүргеннен бұл өзі жем тауы кетті. Қол құс болғанда кішкене олақтау болады. Қолға ұстағаннан кейін баяғы бірді ұстаса бірді таңын ұстай алмайды. Түз құстың ең қасиет кісіге қолын мол салып кісіні тістеп істемейді. Қол құс болғанда кішкене асаулау болады, кісіні тістеп. Аяқ сақтап.
Қасқыр алып көрдіңіз бе?
Ау.
Қасқыр алдыңыз ба?
Бұл қасқыр Бүркітпен алып көргем жоқ. Екі бүркіт болмаса қасқырға бір бүркіттің шамасы келмейді деп жатыр ғой. Екі бүркіт ұстап деп әйтеуір үлкен кісілерден естігенбіз. Түлкі қоян, қарсақ, әлім деген сияқты. Анда қалғанбыз.
Ne жерде бүркіттер бар?
Мен осы 15 жыл қатыстым. 15 жылда сол 2 жыл үшінші орын болдым. Былтыр екінші орын болдым. 2 жыл 5-ші орын болдым сол. 15 жылда қатысқанымда, аймақ тойы. Сонымен тойларыммен бірнеше рет алдым, орындарды алған басқа жерде.
Bags back in, doors shut, breath still hanging in the cold air, and we were moving again. We slowly packed our things back into the truck, stepped out into the freezing air, and watched the family disappear, little by little, behind us as the vehicle pulled away. Out here, people often enter your life quietly and briefly. Even after such a short time, their presence lingers long after you leave. We began venturing across mountain ridges and rocky canyon. Yes, we scanning for the beauty, ibex. These animals live high within the cliffs and impossible-looking mountain walls across western Mongolia. Places so steep and dangerous that even predators like wolves and snow leopards struggle to reach them. There were no roads at all anymore. Our Jeep bounced violently through rocks, frozen streams, and steep mountain paths, up and down constantly until our bodies started hurting from the ride. Every now and then we stopped the vehicle, grabbed binoculars, and scanned the cliffs carefully. The ibex blended perfectly into the mountains. Sometimes we even questioned whether we were staring at animals or just shadows on the cliffside. Along the way, we stopped by multiple local nomad homes, asking if anyone had seen them recently. Some told us they had seen them moving across the distant cliff this morning. Others simply shook their heads. So we kept going higher. Hour after hour passed, but still nothing. Eventually, we accepted defeat and made our way back. Slightly disappointed, but still happy just being out there in the wilderness. Around midday, we stopped between two canyon walls for a quick lunch. Instant cup noodles in freezing wind. While eating, someone suddenly shouted and pointed toward the cliffs. At first, I couldn't see anything. Then, through the binoculars, one by one, ibex slowly emerged from the rocky cave openings high above us. Even through binoculars, they were hard to see clearly. I quickly launched the drone, and suddenly the entire scene opened up from above. The ibex began running across the cliffs, exactly like those wildlife documentaries I used to watch as a kid. Except this time, I was the one witnessing it with my own eyes. My hands were freezing holding the controller. My heart was racing like crazy. As an animal lover, encounter like that genuinely touched me. Sometimes nature surprises you most when you stop chasing expectations and simply stay open to whatever comes. Out here, the mountains decide what they want to show you. After lunch, we slowly made our way back toward town, carrying that quiet kind of happiness that only comes after something unforgettable. We passed by the frozen lake we had first seen at the beginning of our journey, ending right where it all quietly began. It stretched endlessly across the valley, merging so seamlessly with the white sky that the horizon almost disappeared. But somewhere inside all that chaos was this incredible feeling of freedom. No buildings, no noise, no schedules. We even climbed up the rock that was sitting beside the lake without hesitation. No second thoughts, just instinct and excitement pulling us upward, until suddenly the whole world opened up beneath our feet. We lit up, smoked, and let random conversations drift in and out. Up there, it wasn't just a view. It was time itself slowing down for us. And it felt like the perfect last moment for us to spend with our papa, who had taken care of us through the entire journey like a father would. Quietly guiding us, watching over us, making sure we were always okay in these wild places. Thank you for everything, Uncle Ibex. I miss you, truly. Then reality slowly crept back in. The nightmare of it quietly set in as we climbed back on to another 36-hour bus ride, returning toward the city. Eat, sleep, pee. Eat, sleep, pee. Over and over again, until we finally reached the destination. Back in the city, everything felt strangely sharp again. Even traffic lights, trucks, and crowded streets felt almost unfamiliar. We stayed there for a night, finally back in civilization. Proper showers, warm beds, things we didn't realize we missed until we had them again. Just enough time to reset before the next move. But the adventure still wasn't over, not even close. This one's somehow even tighter and more uncomfortable than the first. Another long stretch of hours ahead, sleeping, waking up, staring out the window, repeating the same slow cycle again and again. This time we were heading toward the very edge of Mongolia, near the Siberian-border. So many days out in the outskirts, we finally started to see something different again. Patches of woods slowly breaking the endless open land. The terrain shifted little by little here. Trees standing quiet in the middle of winter, as if the landscape was changing its rhythm. Somewhere along the way, we lost our direction too. Nothing clear on its own, but slowly it started to form a direction again. Eventually, we reached them. Out here, life doesn't spread across houses or streets. It folds into one single gur. A father, a mother, a grandmother, 2 daughters, a son, all living under the same roof. And a neighboring boy who was always there too, drifting in and out like he had never really been a visitor at all, but part of the family. Everything happened inside that gur. Sleeping, cooking, eating, gathering, surviving winter together. At the center stood a heavy iron stove, constantly burning wood day and night, just to keep everyone alive through the brutal cold. Every morning, the kids would follow their father out into the biting air, riding on the back of the truck through deep snow toward the frozen lake. The ice would be stacked and brought inside, slowly melting over the stove to become water for cooking and daily use. As the mother cooked, we helped with some of the preparation beside her, passing things around, preparing ingredients, doing whatever small tasks we could. Smoke drifted upward, and soft light slipped through gaps in the wooden walls, cutting across the haze inside the house. It gave the space a strange, raw architecture of its own, shaped not only by wood and nails, but by fire, warmth, and the quiet rhythm of people living together beneath the same roof. And yes, the toilet situation here was another experience entirely. Throughout Mongolia, we had already used many traditional outdoor toilets, but this one was especially memorable. Basically just rough wooden planks standing around a deep frozen hole in the ground, completely exposed to the freezing minus 30 degrees Celsius wind attacking your entire soul from every direction. Honestly, every toilet trip became something interesting by itself. I still remember quietly watching the father of the house slowly building it for us in the snow, with his bare hands in the freezing air. Something about that simple gesture felt strangely warm, despite the brutal cold surrounding us. During the day, we helped the boys collect firewood from nearby forests. Chopping logs together in deep snow somehow became fun after a while. Everyone worked naturally together, without needing instructions. We followed the kids to their animal shed beside the house to meet all their animals, proudly introducing every horse, cow, yak, and sheep like they were part of the family. Warm breath from the animals slowly filled the freezing space around us. They handed us shovels, and we started helping clean piles of frozen animal poops, while cows quietly stood beside us chewing hay, and sheep kept brushing against our legs. At the same time, their mother sat nearby milking the cows into metal buckets. As steam rose gently into the cold air. The kids moved around naturally between the animals. Laughing and helping with small chores like this was just another normal winter morning for them. The goats were then released out toward the hills to search for food beneath the snow. Slowly, the herd spread across the valley. While the mother watched carefully through binoculars from a distance. Then suddenly, few eagles began circling lower above the herd. Immediately, the boys jumped onto their motorcycles and sped across the snow toward the goats, shouting and laughing while guiding them back together. This was simply daily life here. Normal responsibilities mixed naturally with childhood. Not because life was easy, actually, life here was hard, but because their happiness came from very real things. During late evening, the kids started coming out one by one from the wooden log shelter, stepping into the open snow again. Running toward the tall, frozen trees, carrying a glowing, warm light through the darkness. Their laughter rising into the freezing air. Breath turning into little clouds that disappeared as quickly as they formed. The soft, cold light reflected across everyone's faces in the most beautiful way. Their cheeks glowing pink from the freezing air, warm smiles under thick winter hats, eyes shining from laughter. Honestly, they look like characters straight out of some old fairy tale or Disney film, but completely real. As tomorrow morning, we would leave before sunrise again. We woke up while the world outside was still completely dark. The cold felt brutal, almost painful. But the stove was still alive, quietly warming the gur through the freezing morning air. We walked across the snow toward the family's gur opposite ours, expecting everyone to finally be asleep after the celebration. What surprised us was they hadn't slept. The smell of food drifted through the cold morning air long before the sun had risen. The mother quietly served us a horse meat porridge. Her kindness made the meal feel even warmer. I remember sitting there quietly, watching the kids' faces while we ate. Maybe because we knew we were leaving soon, but something about that moment made me feel strangely unwilling to say goodbye to them yet. But eventually the road called us again. Soon we squeezed ourselves back into the old Russian van and continued north toward the lake, somewhere around 60 miles away. Then, little by little, signs of life slowly began appearing again. Some wooden house here, thin trail of smoke there, dim yellow lights glowing faintly through frosted windows. And eventually, we reached the countryside surrounding the largest freshwater lake in northern Mongolia. At first, we could barely see the lake itself through the frozen morning air. What hit us hard was how unreal it looked. Half of the lake was already completely frozen. Covered in thick white ice stretching endlessly from the shoreline. While the other half still remained dark, flowing and alive beneath the freezing wind. Half frozen, half alive. The contrast between the two was honestly stunning. We eventually stopped the van by the empty lakeside and trekked deeper into the freezing air. There was nobody around us. No sound except wind brushing across the ice and water. The lake felt endless, almost ocean-like, surrounded by snow-covered mountains fading quietly into the distance. The cold air burned our faces, but nobody actually cared anymore. Standing there in front of something that massive and untouched made every exhausting mile of the journey suddenly feel worth it. Later that day, we slowly drove onto the frozen parts of the lake itself. Honestly, it was terrifying. Beneath us was only layers of ice covering one of the deepest freshwater lakes on Earth. Every tiny cracking sound instantly made all of us look at each other in panic. Even though the locals drove across it normally, our brains still couldn't fully accept the fact that we were literally driving on top of a frozen lake. But at the same time, it was one of the most beautiful things we had ever seen. The frozen surface stretched beyond the horizon. Loose snow drifted across the ice like smoke moving across glass. Time moves strangely there, slow, heavy, quiet. Before the sun fades away, we went higher onto a ridge overlooking the town and the lake below. The sun slowly disappeared behind the mountains while tiny lights began glowing across the settlement beside the frozen shoreline. From above, endless layers of white, blue, and silver fading into the darkness of the north. Looking back, it was hard to believe how many different worlds we had already crossed. But slowly, even that began to fade. It all became part of the same road. The one last time, everything we carried was packed into a mid-sized Highlander. Bags, jackets, cameras, food, and whatever space was left between us. Ahead of us waited another 1,420 kilometers into the outskirts. 6 people sharing a space that somehow felt smaller with every kilometer. As the first light of dawn spread across the Mongolian landscape, a lone temple slowly came into view. Perched above the valley, its white walls caught the morning sun, glowing softly against the surrounding hills. In a land defined by vastness, this temple was a reminder that some places are not built to be seen. They are built to endure. As the morning sun climbed higher, golden light spilled across the valleys below, revealing endless layers of hills fading into the distance. The landscape slowly began to change once again. The mountains softened into rolling plains, and far ahead, hints of gold started to appear on the horizon. Soon, vast dunes rose from the earth like waves frozen in time, painting every ridge in shades of amber and gold. While long shadows stretched across the sand. Wind drifted across the surface, tracing delicate patterns that disappeared almost as quickly as they appeared. Where camels wandered calmly through the winter landscape. That day happened to be Christmas, and Mother Nature of Mongolia actually gave us a gift none of us could have imagined. Far across an endless field of snow, tiny figures appeared against the white horizon. At first, they looked almost unreal. Then they began to move. We pulled over immediately and ventured off-road, crossing the frozen ground in hopes of seeing them a little closer. They remained distant, small against the vastness of the wilderness. We so curious about what that's. Only then we finally realized what we were witnessing. Dozens of red deer flowed across the snowy landscape with effortless grace, weaving through the white expanse as though they belonged to another world entirely. Just wild animals moving freely through a wilderness that seemed to have no end. Watching them moving freely in the wild, I felt something difficult to describe, something I always craved to see with my own eyes. The wildlife encounter like this. This is the wild, and life as it was meant to be. And the deeper we traveled, the more moments like these appeared. Wild horses running across distant valleys. Eagles circling silently above the cliffs. Animals living not beside the wilderness, but as part of it. And yes, this is the coldest adventure I've ever been on. Minus 37 degrees Celsius in the wild. And at first, that was all I could feel. But slowly, it stopped being just cold. All of it stayed warmer than it should have. All I remembered was just how Bereke bringing me into his world, like it's just part of everyday life here. I remember Papa and Mama taking care of us like family, without needing anything in return. I remember the wildlife moving across the open land. The bond of the animal with people here. I remember the coldest nights where everything felt frozen, but life still quietly continued. And all the beautiful sounds from every human I have met here. The cold, the distance, the emptiness. It never felt like something to avoid. It felt like something I was drawn to. And maybe that's what stays with me most. Not the minus 37 degrees Celsius. But how real everything felt when nothing was trying to be anything else. And I'm still just a kid who loves the wild more than anything else. And no matter how cold the road becomes, there will always be a kind of warmth that only comes from places like this.